Hello and welcome to Mount Royal Stadium, where today the Shaler Area Titans host the Penn Trafford Warriors. Steve Jones alongside John Irwine here with SATV on this very special day for Shaler Area as Shaler celebrates its 50th year of homecoming. John, tell me a little bit more about this 50th year anniversary.
Well, Steve, obviously it's a special day, obviously for homecoming in the Shaler Area community, but obviously the 50th, we didn't get to celebrate last year because of COVID.
Right.
So they said, hey, let's not forget about it. Let's move it to next year. So obviously today, Saturday, a beautiful day, a little bit of an overcast, but hey, who's going to complain about some shade, all right?
Right.
So anyways, it's a big day. They had the parade already for about 2 hours, and now we get into the football game. And again, I'm already excited. So I'm just going to get right into it, Steve. And I'm going to talk about the Penn Trafford Warriors, who are taking on the Shaler Area Titans. And Steve, they both come in the 2-2 record, but Penn Trafford, I would say, are a little bit higher up on the totem scale. I would say their first two wins against Bell Vernon and Trinity Area, I think both 30-point victories over their opponents, but coming off two losses, and last week coming off a loss to Peters Township High School. Unfortunately, not able to make anything happen. Peters Township now perennially a very good team in the 5A conference. Now, Penn Trafford, very strong, very big team, almost comparable to North Allegheny in that sense. But again, have had their struggles. They've lost a good bit of starters coming from last season. So this year, a little bit more of a rebound. I mean, again, if you would have said Shaler and Penn Trafford last year at 2-2 facing each other, a lot of people wouldn't have believed that. Again, they got a lot to say and a lot to prove. Again, Shaler, again, has a lot of hype still. Again, coming off two losses, but Penn Trafford has something to say about that. You know, for Penn Trafford, I think that they just got to come into this game, you know, rebound. You can't let those two losses get to you. Again, the Shaler team, they can take advantage of you if you let it happen.
Right.
So in that instance, Penn Trafford's got to play a smarter game, and they got to figure out, hey, how do we stop the Titans? But again, you know all about the Titans, so tell me more about them.
Well, I want to touch off a couple of your points that you said right there real quick. These teams are not very familiar with each other because this is an out-of-section game. Some of the teams that you mentioned that Penn Trafford has played within the recent weeks, Shaler has never even contended against these teams. So it's going to be very hard for the Titans to come out of the gates knowing what is going to be thrown at them. That's kind of an advantage as much as it's a disadvantage. Let's talk about the Titans real quick and dive right into them. Last week, coming off an unfortunate loss, 24-0 loss over in West Allegheny, but I believe they're ready to rebound. However, 6 of Shaler's starters are either out on injury or questionable for their return. And also, we have no clue what the Titans' strategy is going to be, knowing that, like you said, this is the last week of non-conference play. I think the better route that I think the Shaler coaches are going to take advantage of is to just keep their players out and let them get a full healing and well-rested to come into section play. John, I think that the Titans need to keep the ball on the ground, use their speed over their power right now, and just try to get a couple by Penn Trafford and try to sneak them in, but really using speed over size in this game is going to benefit them. Also, with Penn Trafford, they're a dual-threat team from what I hear. You've got to contain the run and contain the run early, and if they do go to the air, you've got to take advantage of that and have a good secondary and play some very good defense. But I think overall, this is going to be a very good contest between both teams. John, what else you got for us?
Well, Steve, I think obviously both teams, a little last thought, both teams have something to prove. You know, both coming in at 2-2. Again, Penn Trafford, they've been the big 6A perennial team that always, you know, would contend and go into the Whitfield Championship. I think both teams have different stories going into this game. Penn Trafford obviously saying, hey, we're still the Penn Trafford Warriors. You know about us, you talk about us, you play against us, and you lose. Shaler Area, they're coming into this game saying, hey, we're still the Shaler Area Titans that are going to come and make it rowdy and make it tough for you to play against and make you have to reconsider how you're going to play this game. So I think both teams are going to have to, hey, really think it out and really toughen up and say, hey, it's a Saturday game. You're not maybe made ready yet at 2 p.m. on a Saturday like most teams are, but hey, it's a football game and you got to be ready for it. So I guess for both teams, you just got to play to your strengths and you know, don't feed into the weaknesses. That's all I got, Steve. You got anything else?
No, I couldn't have said it better myself, but that's all for us down here on the field for the pregame show. Join us up in the booth for coverage of today's game.
We're the 2021 Shaler football team, and you're watching SATV.
the pride we share in our Titan spirit. Program along with their directors, Mr. Elton, Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs. West, and Mrs. Fondike. We would also like to direct your attention to the center of the field. In honor of our 50th anniversary, joining us tonight are close to 50 Shaler Area Band alumni representing classes ranging from 1978 to 2020. Also on the field, we have both band directors spanning the last 45 years, Mr. Robert Woodring and Mr. George Tepsich. Thank you all for joining us today.
Function to the scoreboard side of the stadium on the track, where we are proud to introduce your Shaler Area 2021 Homecoming Court. First for the freshman king is Ryan McGaffick. Ryan's attendants are Savannah Gray and Christian Mendoza. Representing our sophomores, the Queen, Hannah Kloss. Hannah's attendants are Isabella Dutkovic and May Engel. Representing the juniors, the Queen, Melanie Macedo Santiago. Melanie is escorted by Colin McInich. And Melanie's attendant, Talia Sternagel. And now for our seniors, the Queen, Rebecca Beckus. Rebecca's attendants are Julia Ehrenberger and Flannery Loudon. For performing arts, the Queen, Sasha Zorovchik. Sasha is escorted by Sarah Fayor. The senior representative is Jenna Masucci, who is being escorted by Emma Wonderland. The junior rep is Rachel Zerka, escorted by Logan DeLuca. The sophomore rep is Zoe Reed, escorted by Victoria Scariot. And the freshman rep is Ava Molinero, escorted by Sophia Tregovic. We will be crowning our homecoming king or queen at halftime. But right now, how about a big round of applause for your Shaler Area 2021 homecoming court.
Hello and welcome to Mount Royal Stadium. Steve Jones and John Irwine up here in the booth to provide you coverage of today's game as we see the Shaler Area Titans stomping the flag in the ground, and they are here ready to start this homecoming game off strong. John, what do you expect out of the Titans right off the bat?
Well, Steve, it's a big game on both sides of the ball. For the Shaler Titans, it's got to be a bounce-back weekend. It's got to be a week of learning because in this specific instance, coming off a loss 24-0 against West Allegheny, who perennially is a very big powerhouse in the 5A conference, I would say, you know, most teams would be probably down in the dumps.
Right.
I would assume. But I think head coach Jim Ryan says, hey, that game doesn't matter towards playoffs. Right. That's a game of learning. That's a game of fixing our mistakes. And that's how probably this game's going to go, too. It's a homecoming game. Again, you got a lot of pride to play for on homecoming. But against Penn Trafford, you know, it's a very tough opponent. I don't think Jim Ryan's going to have a problem with if he does take a loss. Again, you don't want to say it in that sense. But, again, this is his time to learn and grow his players into a better team than when they do get in the section play next week.
they'll be fine and ready to go.
I agree with you 110%. This is a game of education more than it is a game of actual physical brute strength. Especially in this sense here today, the Titans really have never faced this opponent, and they're really just trying to see what they're going to bring to the table for later on down. But I think they're more worried and more excited about section and conference play than they are about today's game. As we go out to the 25-yard line as the captains take the coin toss here, Titans...
Let's see, Steve. Not too sure.
Yep, captains shake hands, the toss. Titans win the toss. It comes to them. The Titans elect to receive the kick.
Smart
and
pick by
Jim Ryan, as always, takes the ball first, and he wants to get some points on the board.
Notice the side he took. It's away from the sun. Penn Trafford's going to be looking into the sun. By the way, it's very bright for anyone watching this right now. It's very bright outside. If you're looking in the sun on defense and you're Penn Trafford, you're saying, shoot. That's a very smart pick by Jim Ryan to pick that side.
Yes, it is. Let's see. I think Jim Ryan is going to have the same mentality as always here, but specifically, more or less, it's very important that when you go against a team like Penn Trafford, you need to get points on the board. You need to set the tone very early. Penn Trafford outnumbers the Titans. I believe it's 1.3 to 1 with manpower on the field. It might be 1.5 or 1.6. I didn't get an accurate count on that.
Yeah, looking at it right now, it looks like they got 75 kids over there.
I think they have 75 to Shaler's, probably 55 dressed, 50 to 55 dressed. So the point is they have a lot more pull to go through in the game. The Titans really don't have a lot of substitutions per se because they have a lot of young kids out here today. But really looking at the Penn Trafford team just on brute size, they are towering over the Titans. So let's see what comes about this. But hey, you never know.
Yeah, Steve, and I guess a little injury report. Caden Orga of the Titans did come out injured. I believe a lower body injury against West Allegheny, and so Ryan Dougherty is going to take his place now in the kickoff team, special teams, alongside Joey DiSabato.
Yep.
And I think this kickoff in particular, Steve, you always say it's going to set the tone for the drive.
Absolutely. Let's see what happens as Penn Trafford, as Nathan Schlesinger gets ready to kick this one away. And we are underway, the 2021 homecoming game, as this is kicked out of bounds. What a boot there from Penn Trafford, and the Titans will get the touchback and bring the ball out to their own 25-yard line for their first set of downs.
And Steve, a lot of injuries, like you said earlier in pregame. You know, they're kind of not injury-ridden to a point, but they've got a lot of starters out. Guys like Augie Tortorella, Luke Signetti, Caden Orga, I believe Zach Hartung, all out. Brendan London, all out.
Yep, John, I want to touch on that point right before we are. They're not season-ending injuries by any means, and we'll touch back on that later, folks. But let's see what the Titans come out with right away. Titans in the wing T. They run it up the middle, but they're stopped near instantly as a herd of Penn Trafford Warriors are there to meet them. They get back to the line of scrimmage, possibly a gain of 1. Very interesting call that we see out on the field for today's starter. That's going to be Dom Rossi under center taking snaps. We have not seen Dom Rossi play quarterback since the week 0 game out at oh my lord, my
Newcastle.
I was almost thinking Butler, but I'm like, it's not Butler.
It's far enough.
Back in the wing power, play action. Rossi under pressure gets a big hit there.
Don't think we're going to see anything
I thought that would have definitely been 15 because wow, okay. Off that play action, he took a lot of pass rush right away, had to get the ball out of his hands. Intended target was for 21 of the Titans, I believe, unless it was...
I think that was Josh Miller, actually.
Was that Josh Miller, 26?
That was Josh Miller.
Didn't get a good look at that number.
And look at this here, Steve. Look who's coming out on the field. Keegan Schmatenka, number 1. He's going to come out onto the field, so let's see how the Titans roll out with this.
Titans are 3rd down and 9 is what they're facing here. So they go to their starter, trips to the right for the Titans. They get the snap in the shotgun, looks downfield. He's got that ball slipped. That ball slipped right out of his hands. He tried to pump fake it, and it just came out. He was looking downfield to Dominic Rossi, but the coverage was there, and he did not want to turn over an interception. So really, you got to look at your risk-reward there. You know, he held off, but the ball came out there. He was just trying to prevent an interception, so understandable. And the Titans are forced to punt as their first possession turns into a 3-and-out.
And not favorable. The Titans definitely got to block up here.
And this is a little squirrely of a punt as it just hooks left and goes out of bounds. Came off the came off a little unusual from the boot of Josh Miller, and that punt only gets out to the Titans' 35-yard line. Penn Trafford Warriors are really taking over in favorable field position as they are taking over at
Looks like the 35.
35 of the Titans. Well, let's see what the Penn Trafford Warriors come out with as Carter Green looks to be the starter quarterback from the shotgun. Carter Green would take a snap. They hand it off up the middle. Got some running room right away and brought down, but not after a first down as number 5, Cade Iacomelli, runs it out for a gain of about 12 or 13 yards.
And Steve, it's going to be real interesting to see how Penn Trafford plays this. Obviously, Cade Iacomelli, a lot of hype in the Whitfield, committed to Wisconsin earlier in the summer. So, how they play him throughout this game is going to be pretty tough to tell how the Titans are going to have to deal with that.
Absolutely. Carter Green gets set. He might see something. He's talking to his wide receivers, possibly calling his audibles out. Same formation. Calls a man in motion. They overstack the left side. Trips left. Play action in the screen. It's dropped. And the play action screen pass just slipped through the hands of number 4, Jacob Otto. And that's ruled incomplete.
Not sure what exactly. I think it might have dropped through his hands there, Steve, but I think, to be honest, if he catches that, he's probably at about 15 yards. I don't think there was a Titan in sight.
Right, and they were all blocked there, but, it just hit his hands. I think he was really more focused on getting north to south there more than he was catching the ball. Carter Green back. Take the snap. It's going to be a quarterback keep up the middle, and he's brought down, but not after a gain of about 6 yards. It's going to be third down and short from the Titans' 16 or 15-yard line. So picking up 20 yards in the first 3 plays, average.
It's going to be a 3rd and 4. And I wouldn't be surprised if Iacomelli gets the call here, but if Penn Trafford does feel like switching it up, we could see it go out wide, maybe to Liam Howman. He's been lining up on that right side of Carter Green the whole time.
Titans play man-to-man in cover 2. Give it up the middle. Brought down short of the first down marker, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And that's going to be an interesting call for the head coach of Penn Trafford here. John Ron is really got a decision to make here. Are they going to go for it with 4th and 2 as the Titans defense comes up big there with a big 3rd down stop? And it looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the field for the 4th down here. Interesting call, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they go. I mean, Iacomelli's most likely going to get the call going power, but they just sent out Jacob Otto onto the right.
Man in motion. From the shotgun. Play action. They roll it outside. He picks up the first down, and he ran out of bounds. Flag flies a mile away. The head official with the call here. He spotted something downfield. This is going to be an interesting call. I think it's either going to be a holding or a face mask that he could have picked up. Let's see what the call is from the head official out there on the field. We have a holding call on the offense, and I believe they will back them up, and it'll still remain and repeat. 4th down, it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So they will be backed up, and this is going to be a long 4th down here. Now it comes back to confidence in your play call. Do you back down? Do you kick? But then again, it's interesting.
It's their first drive.
Yeah, you're 4th down in Titan territory. You're not in the red zone, but you're 4th and 9. Why not? Take a shot. They move everybody. It's going to be quad set to the left. He's going to roll out. Looking downfield is Carter, looking for the corner. And this is going to result in a completion very close to being a touchdown as that reception was made to Liam Howman. John, you just mentioned him. He was lining up on the outside all game, and they connect right away, and they get the first down. They mark it 1st and goal from the Titans 4.
Yeah, it was a great call by Penn Trafford there and John Ron. I mean, what a call. I mean, those routes, I think, just had the Titans all discombobulated, couldn't figure it out. And look how they line up here, Steve.
All right, they're going to whistle the play dead. We have a flag on the play right away. I believe it's going to be a false start because if it was a defensive encroachment, they should have had a free play. See the head official's call here.
Penn Trafford's already moving back.
Yep, they knew they had the false start there. I believe one of the linemen came out of set before the cadence was finished.
And 2 early mistakes stopping a obviously plausible first down. And Chief, to be honest, what looked like a touchdown coming from Yakimelli right there. He was about to take himself in Wildcat.
Right, I thought, yeah, absolutely. So we see it first down. We see first and goal repeated downs here from the 9 or 10 yard line. And still in the Wildcat. They pull man in motion. They have trips to the right now. And they're going to take it on the Wildcat. And brought down and stopped by 86 of the Titans in on that tackle as
Sanders there, Steve. That was a great wrap-up by Sanders on Green. Green thought he had the outside edge, but I mean that was a pretty big stiff arm into Sanders' face. But again, great wrap-up, and that was one of the things we talked about earlier. They have to finish tackles.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing that they struggled with that, honestly, in my opinion, really caused them to lose that Hampton game 2 weeks ago, and into the West Allegheny didn't have help at all. Excuse me.
Titans are playing undersized, and they're still digging their heels in. I mean, they're giving up a few yards, but they're still making the tackles. They're not letting anybody buy them. In the shotgun, they give it up the middle, wrapped up, but will the herd get pushed forward? His progress is stopped.
And we're going to have a flag. I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, possibly.
Cade Yakimelli with the run there. He was stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. And we have another flag on the field. This is the 4th penalty flag of the game.
And Steve,
and we are not even,
4 minutes in.
We are 4 minutes into the first quarter as the head official has another conversation with the other referees.
And if this is,
we'll take a look and see what his call is about to be. We have a personal foul, face mask from the defense, half the distance to the goal line.
I think I saw it as where a player on the far side, I couldn't tell what number, is getting tangled up with number 23, Jacob Haynes of Penn Trafford.
The flag came in out of sight of the play.
Yeah, it was off to the side.
And will that remain second down?
I'm not sure. I would assume it is.
Okay. I thought, okay. So it's going to be second down from the 1 yard line. Carter Green lines up for the snap. Takes it. Handoff up the middle to Yakimelli. Yakimelli will punch it in for 6 as Penn Trafford will get the touchdown there. But, I really have to say, Titans defense played well from where they were. You had other than letting up a 4th down conversion, in that, unfortunate penalty there, they did dig their heels in a lot and really held them only to a few yard gainage other than the one passing play. But they just did not get out of their own. On offense, they did not capitalize whatsoever. And a bad punt there from special teams. And this kick put up by Nathan Schlesinger is good as it sails through the uprights. Only using up a little bit over 4 minutes. Warriors lead the Titans 7-0, 7:21 to play in the first.
And Steve, I will say, I think what the Titans defense did well there was they caused the Warriors to make mistakes.
Absolutely, and that could just be on the Warriors itself because it was a holding penalty, 2 false starts, and against the Warriors, and then the Titans had their own personal foul penalty that was inflicted. So the Titans defense did dig in their heels. Mind you, this is all a learning thing. They've never seen Penn Trafford's offense played against them.
No.
They've never seen it. Neither has Penn Trafford. Penn Trafford has never seen the Titans play against them. So it goes both ways. Titans now, hopefully they've made their adjustments on their offense. Let's see what they can do here. Nathan Schlesinger gets ready to boot this one off deep as
it's going to be Doherty and DeSabato back there.
Yep, Doherty and DeSabato are back deep for the return here.
And Steve, it's going to be interesting how this offense goes back onto the field because again we saw Dom Rossi out for I believe 2 plays and then Keenan Schmatenka came in. So how this gets played out, not sure who's going to be on quarterback duties here. And again, this offense is pretty injury not prone, but injury heavy, I would say, Steve.
Yeah,
a lot of their starters are out.
Yep, I think they're all questionable. Nothing is a major injury at this point, but I believe Coach Jim Ryan is keeping them for section play as this boot is kicked off deep but returnable. And they let it sail as that ball actually flies all the way to the back of the end zone. I thought that was going to be fielded right at the goal line, and that one sails. What a boot on this
Nathan Schlesinger. He is a senior, 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. I have no clue if he's committed anywhere.
Hopefully so.
Hopefully so. I haven't seen power out of a kicker like that in a lot of years, you know. Very rarely do you see a lot of kids in high school really develop a good kick like that.
They go Schmatanka, Steve.
Schmatanka will start. Titans keep it in. It's going to be a toss to the outside. They're going to give it to Josh Miller. Josh Miller swaddled up by 2 Warriors there on the edge. They scamper back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there. 2nd down and 10 coming up. The Titans really going to make something happen here, and the run game is being contained. That's 2 runs to the outside that were contained so far by the edge rushers of the Warriors. You can see that they're running a 5-3 defense, and those outside linebackers are really proficient in their work. Titans still stack the box. Man in motion. They give it dive up the middle. That's good for a gain of a few, only getting about 3 yards on the carry. And 3rd down and about 6 coming up. Man, the Warrior defense is playing shut down. Very interesting formation for the Titans to be playing against a defense this good. When you stack the box like this and you're running out of the wing, it's got to be tough, man. And it looks like they're going to spread them out a little bit here. But still, Schmatanka's playing under center. They give a dive up the middle. And gain of a few, but still it's going to be brought up short, and 4th down will come out for the Titans from their own 28-yard line. 4th and 2 coming up.
And Steve, you talked about keeping it on the ground earlier, but I'm surprised they're doing it in such a power formation manner.
Right. They're coming out of power, and this is a tough call from Coach Jim Ryan here. He's just, his back's up against the wall. They can't give it, they cannot, turn it over inside their own, in their side of the field, so they have to punt this one away.
And this boot has to be better from Josh Miller.
That it does, and he does. He gets a good line drive kick.
Very
and that's
good
going
roll.
to kick all the way out, all the way back, still rolling to the 25-yard line of the Warriors. So what a great boot there from Miller. That returner from the Warriors had no clue that Josh Miller was able to get it out that far, as that ball sailed right over his head and he had to chase it back. I think he questioned it for a second. He was thinking about it and picking it up, but now the Warriors are tucked back to their own 25-yard line. The Titans defense really got no break there. They've only been off the field for 2 minutes of play, and the Titans are asking a lot of them.
Yeah, Steve, how these Titans are going to handle against this Warriors, I mean, there's a lot of field to work with, and Penn Trafford, again, used up 4 minutes on that last drive, close to it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this defense of the Titans lines up.
Carter Green takes a snap. Play action. Thrown over top the middle. And number 19, Jack Jolly, the tight end there with the reception. And they're going to move the sticks right away with that completion. 1st down and 10 coming up from the 40.
And the Titans not able to gain any sort of just momentum right now, even on this blitz right now, Steve.
Titans don't have any pass rush. Almost intercepted there. Big hit from Josh Miller on number 7, Liam Heilman. One of the Titan cornerbacks blitzed right off the right side, and he almost got his fingertips on the ball there, but it was completed to Heilman. Heilman was hit pretty good there by Miller, and they only pick up a few. 2nd down and 8 coming up from the 42-yard line of Shaler.
And that was pretty interesting to see.
I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. 42-yard line of the Warriors.
Yeah, and that was pretty interesting to see how the line just kind of let Shaler through in that instance. But look at it here, Steve. Giacomelli takes this one.
Giacomelli gets some running room to the outside. He gets the first and then some. Finally brought him down and ran out of bounds, but not after a gain of about 20 yards as they press into Titan territory, as they get it all the way out to the Titans' 35-yard line. Giacomelli, man, look at the athleticism that this kid brings to the table. He ran a dive play, kind of almost looked like a little bit of old-style Le'Veon Bell. He gets to his hole, nothing's there. He lets the play develop, finds a route outside, he kicks it to the outside, and he makes it work. He picks up the 1st down and then some. Warriors take the snap in the empty backfield set. Fumbled. Heard a Titans get to him. And that was a bad snap there.
Direct snap to Colin Green.
That was another one of those wildcat formations, you know. They ran a direct snap play. I actually thought it was going to be a false start because I did see the left side of the offensive line there jump a little early, but they didn't catch it. And that play results in a big loss there. Second down and 15 from the Titans 45. And now we can see, I think that's Carter Green back under center in the I formation. Blitz comes. He rolls out, looking for a man downfield, getting chased down. Brought down, but not after the throw. Completion on the run to number 3, Seth Dunlap. Big play there by Carter Green, getting chased out of the pocket. Pressure was there, and he makes it work.
Yeah, I think the problem is the Titans are playing this pretty big zone, I would say, and just Seth Dunlap able to make something happen, get to the sideline, see his quarterback, hey, he's scrambling, I need to get somewhere. And again, Green, great awareness to know that there's a man chasing him down. As Austin Timko, and he likes to create a havoc. So Carter Green, a very smart quarterback, and you got to bring him down a little bit earlier or cover your man, and that's pretty hard to do on both sides of the ball.
Right. Shotgun. Snap. Handed up the middle. Iacomelli's got some running room. Flags down at the line of scrimmage. Iacomelli gets out to about the 5, but there is a flag on the play. Let's look at the official's call here. And we see a holding penalty on the offense. Their second holding call of the day, and they're going to be backed up again.
And I think what the issue is obviously we know who he is. Big Logan Burnaster is trying to get in on that defensive line and get through the gaps, and I think just Penn Trafford's having a tough time holding them back. And I mean, in my opinion, if this continues to happen, I think we could see a pretty big problem happening later on. As more penalties leads to frustration, Steve.
Right. Let's see what happens here. As it's first down and a long ways to go. I'm not sure the yardage there, if it's 15 or 20. Carter Green's got some pressure, being chased down on the outside. He's got a stiff arm, and he's ran out of bounds, but not after picking up a good gain of about 10 there. That was number 70, the Titans, that was flushing the quarterback out of the pocket.
It was a great rush and
Anthony Mazza. Yeah. That was Anthony Mazza on that one.
Yeah, Mazza's been making a lot of plays in the last couple of games. He's been a real big part of this Titans D-line and, showed some great speed. But again, Carter Green just a little bit faster than you would think for a quarterback of his size at, 5'10", 170.
Second down coming up for the Warriors at the Titans' 15-yard line. It's a screen pass and brought down in the backfield by number 86 in a swarm of Titans there. Big tackle for a loss. Great. I watched the play develop on that outside edge. Number 86 of the Titans read that play absolutely beautifully. He shed his block right away, followed the eyes of the quarterback, and was in to make the stop. Great athleticism there. Awesome job.
It was a very interesting play because that's Jimmy Sanders, number 86. He was getting blocked by his man, but his man was getting blocked, and he got in the way of that receiver.
Yeah.
So essentially, his blocker got him pushed into his own receiver.
Third down and 9 coming up for the Warriors. Play action. They look downfield. Not a lot of pass rush here. Completed. First down. Picked up. First and goal for the Warriors. Pass is made to number 3 Seth Dunlap. Wow. I mean, when you think the Titans are playing great defense, they get the ball in the air, and just the size, wow, it's something else to see this team. They stopped the run game, they stopped the screen pass, but those passes downfield, that's another long reception from Carter Green.
Yeah, and again, Steve, under 2 minutes, Penn Trafford using up all of this clock, taking their time. And
really have controlled and dominated this first quarter of play as they look to score again. Audibles being called, empty back set for Carter, man in motion. Carter's going to take it himself. He's got a lane. Touchdown, Penn Trafford. They put another 6 on the board. Carter takes it from himself. Great blocking there from the offensive line. Titans just were not ready for that. They just did not have enough guys stacked in the box. They thought it was definitely going to be a pass play. And Penn Trafford puts another 6 up, and they're looking to put the extra point up as well.
Yeah, it was a great call there, Green. He probably called that himself, to be honest, because, he knows he has the speed and he knows he has the blockers to make it happen. Again, that one goes through there, Steve.
Sails through there as that one goes all the way into the woods.
We're not getting that one back.
No, we are not. 1 minute and 5 remaining in the first. Penn Trafford leads 14, Titans 0. So, Titans, what do we adjust in this? What is Jim Ryan thinking of adjustments? You're down 14 off the bat. It's a 2-score ball game. You're being dominated by the opposition here. You need to make changes. The offense has not even scored a first down.
Do you want me to give you an answer there, Steve?
Well, it's more of a hypothetical where your adjustments.
Can I give a hypothetical?
By all means.
I think hypothetically, your plan has to be obviously adjust over time in the offensive scheme. But I think the problem here is you're going power and you're going on plays that don't involve, in my opinion, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I think you need to have sweeps, and I think you need to have plays that are going to hype your guys up, because right now it looks like there's just a lull in the field, and they're going through the motions.
They're playing a lot of that power, as you said, and they're not gaining a lot on it, but the edge has been contained. Penn Trafford has contained the edge run 3 times today, so it's very interesting. Onside kick, surprise, it's touched, and recovered by Penn Trafford. Does an onside kick. Shaler never even noticed it. What?
I mean, what a kick there.
What a kick there.
That was a beautiful onside kick by Schlesinger. Excuse me if I butchered that, by the way, because I probably did. But the problem there is that Shaler, they weren't expecting it. And honestly, they just kind of missed the whole ball.
They were not expecting an onside kick there by no means. And look at the speed from that special teams squad that was able to get there. And they take the ball right over again from Shaler's 33-yard line. Wow. Titans need the turnover here. Man in motion. Carter Green back. Trips right. It's a reverse.
Man
It's a
deep.
flea flicker.
He's open.
Looking downfield for the touchdown pass on a trick play. Touchdown, Warriors. What a play call by Penn Trafford.
I am speechless.
A reverse flea flicker against the Titans. Would you believe it?
I can't believe that number 7, Leon Heilman, got in that quick, and he was able to escape his man that fast. I mean, that was just utter speed. Steve, he ran through 3 guys. Wide open in the end zone.
Carter Green was the lead block there on the reverse, and they had the man downfield. Number 7, Liam Heilman gets his touchdown. Oh, off the post, no good. So he is 3 for 4. I'm sorry, 2 for 3 on extra points as Penn Trafford 20, Titans 0. Wow, you want to talk about absolute domination. That's the Penn Trafford team and coaching staff. They do not want to give the ball up, or they do not have to.
Steve, I'm still not over that play call, Steve. What a call!
Why? I mean,
The throw, by the way, we got to talk about the throw first off by the quarterback. I assume he's the backup, Tommy Kalkstein. What a throw from his own 45 or 40, I believe.
He put every muscle. He put every muscle into that one. That was a 50-yard throw from a backup.
Deep throw, Steve, and it was executed perfectly.
I mean, you couldn't ask for better execution.
I mean, that was
the misdirection there was absolutely beautiful. The Titans had no idea what was coming to them. Wow, I mean, the tricks up their sleeves. This is tough. If you're the Titans now, down 3 scores in your first at home, that is a tough mental barrier to break to try to make something happen here. But don't rule it out yet. Let's see what happens if they can get the ball back here. This one's booted off deep. It's returnable. And they let it go for a touchback.
That was a great call.
That was something right there. I will say that.
And Steve, again, the Titans in their own 20. It's going to be tough for them to try and get out of this position. They've had trouble all day so far. What this call? Look at this lineup here, Steve. A little bit different.
They go to the trips. They're looking downfield. They're going to get the ball in the air. Thrown in the flat. Completion made. And Joe DiSabato with the reception there. He picks up gain of about 3 yards off that throw in the flat. Smetanka is at quarterback still. Titans really need to get the ball out of their own. They have to cross. They have to get a first down.
Yeah, I think the issue is again, there's no momentum in this situation for them to even get going. I think their farthest and longest play of the game has been like 4 or 5 yards, Steve.
And the play action is forced out of the pocket. Smetanka's got to take it himself.
Should be
He's going to run it out of bounds, and they will pick up the first down of the game for the Titans.
Yeah, and I think that was a smart decision by Smetanka. Again, Steve, we've seen it over the entire season. He's grown exponentially as a quarterback and as a leader. I think he came in during Newcastle, obviously, during that first quarter and just kind of took off from there. And, that was great awareness, by the way. I think a lot of quarterbacks may not take that gap. That was a great awareness situation.
Smetanka from the shotgun still. Warriors blitz. It's a run up the middle to Miller. Miller's going to kind of bounce around a little bit. He's going to pick up 2 yards. 2nd down and 8 coming up with 30 seconds remaining on the play clock. I don't know if the Titans are going to... And 15 seconds remain. I think the Titans are still going to get one more play off before the quarter expires. Looks like they're at least going to line up, see if they can maybe draw an offsides here or something. Take it. Look downfield. Smetanka's going to take it by himself again. Little misdirection. Big hit there, but Smetanka pops right back up, and that will end first quarter of play. And it looks like we're going to take a short break here while they switch sides and get their water break in. At the end of the first quarter, Titans trail the Penn Trafford Warriors 20-0.
We're the Shaler Area Girls Volleyball Team, and you're watching SATV.
Third and 2 for the Titans. Let's see what they can do here as we start the second quarter of play. Smetanka takes it by himself once again, trying to pick up 2 yards. Going to be close. I think it's going to be short.
He's short a yard there, Steve.
Titans have to go for it. You got to go for it.
I think you have to.
You do not punt in this situation. You have to go for it. You are 4th and 1. You're down 2 scores. Now, you already know Penn Trafford's going to stack the box on you. You already know that. You know it's going to be everybody at the line of scrimmage is going to pound in. So I think you need to get some misdirection here. Maybe a little bit of a direct snap or something different. And they're going to line up in the shotgun. Let's see what happens here. Blitz coming from Penn Trafford. They hold off. They give it up to Miller, to Josh Miller. It's going to be close to the... I don't think his forward progress got it, and I think he's stopped.
I think he is. Yeah, they are going to call him stopped. That's an interesting decision, especially in trips there, Steve, to go Josh Miller. Again, he's in shotgun. He's already starting 4 yards back.
I don't know why they wouldn't have ran power there.
That would make more sense.
That would have been a great time to run power and punch it through, but unfortunately they chose to run it out of the shotgun, and they are not able to convert there on 4th down, and the Warriors will regain possession from the Titan zone, 47-yard line. 42-yard line, I apologize. Carter Green with the snap. Up the middle to Yakimelli with the carry. He's only going to get about 4 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Wow.
And Steve, it's really tough if you're a Titan right now. I mean, the momentum, especially the defense, the momentum is not in your favor. Your offense, and no offense to them, is not able to produce anything as of right now. I think only have 1 first down. 2, excuse me, I think 2. Just kind of all the odds are stacked against you right now, and you're down 20.
Carter Green puts his man in motion. He's going to take it from the empty backfield set. Scrambles out. Pocket collapses. He's got to make something happen downfield. He does connect with number 17. He's still on his feet. Finally brought out of bounds and shoved out there. That's going to be... do we have a number on 17?
Max perhaps folded again, Steve.
But,
infamous Max Brepfold.
You know, that's the one play that the Titans defense have been proficient in during this game today. When Carter Green gets out there and scrambles back to his strong side, there has always been a Titans defensive end in there to flush him out.
Yep.
And really make him forced to throw. 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Warriors. Empty back set. He looks downfield. He takes it himself. Little misdirection. Is he going to pick up the first? He's going to be stopped a yard short.
And again, Penn Trafford is just such an offensive threat. Such a dual threat
really
on both
are,
sides of the ball. I mean, it's amazing. You know, this is honestly maybe a dream offense if you're a coach in this situation. You have a guy like Carter Green, a very smart. He's got the deep ball in his arm. And you got a guy like Yakimelli who can just run for days and not get tired. So in this situation, especially with a big old line like they do, average height of like 6'3", it's like you're playing.
So here's a tough
David
call.
Goliath.
Here's where the Titan defense got to make a decision. They have 2 men to cover on the outside, and the box is stacked. What are they going to do? Carter Green takes snap. He takes it for himself.
Should be a holding call.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know what
There's
they're
no
call.
flag on anything there. I cannot believe that. Josh Miller looked like his whole neck went the other way because his collar got grabbed.
I thought that was at least going to be illegal use of hands. I seen it on the line as well, but it was missed call there.
And they're going to call it first and... Okay, yeah, they did.
They
move
picked up the yardage, and they will move the chains. 1st down and 10 from the Warriors from the Titans 30. Handed up the middle to Yakimelli. Yakimelli sheds a block, sheds 2, sheds 3, still on his feet, picks up the first, and whoa, he scampers that block all the way down to the line almost to the goal line there. As another 1st and goal is picked up for the Warriors.
And Yakimelli just, I don't even know how to describe. He is an athletic freak of nature. I mean, he's just strong. And look at it again, Steve.
Flags thrown in the backfield. Yakimelli is brought down.
And I think they're going to move him back a little bit. Yes.
There's the holding call there from... They're going to back him up.
You lose when you get one?
No. No, because different sets of the field.
Good call.
If they had that penalty came out in the backfield there, Titans backed them up and it's a 4th down.
Yeah.
From 4th and 10.
Mm-hmm. And I'm intrigued how this call goes because they're switching out a lot of subs right now, Steve. And that's what we talked about earlier. Excuse me. They have a lot of subs on that Penn Trafford sideline.
They really do. And if you look at the heads, the top of the helmets, the average height pretty much stays the same across of Penn Trafford's. So they have a lot of size to pull from. Carter Green looks downfield, looking deep. Pass rush comes. Little shuffle pass to the tight end there. And he is going to walk it in for another touchdown, but he was hit multiple times. Flags fly down by the goal line. Carter Green was flushed out of the pocket there by Josh Miller.
Oh, there's one in the middle of the field, too.
2 flags are down. Let's see what's going on here.
I didn't notice. I'm not sure what happened on the end of the field. It must have been something after the play. I'm not too sure what happened. In the middle of the play, I'm not sure what happened. To be honest, Steve, I kind of folded on that one.
All right, let's see what the call is here. Head officials trying to get everything clarified as they pick it up and start talking about it.
They could be offsetting.
They very well could be.
Now,
could be a holding and illegal use of hands to the face on the defense. You never know. Conversation started.
So they're probably figuring out how it's going to go if it's on both sides of the ball.
All right, here we see the call. Picking them up, offsetting penalties.
Okay. That's what I had assumed.
We have an unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense as...
I'm a bit confused. How was there an off...
Well, I thought that was an offsetting penalty, and that'll be enforced on the kickoff. I'm not sure.
Does unsportsmanlike conduct not... Well, I think they had to call that regardless because it is their unsportsmanlike conduct. Like, they had to call that. I think with just a hold, they don't call that an offsetting, but they have to call it the unsportsmanlike so they know that's their first.
And that will be enforced on the kickoff, I believe.
Yeah, and a guy like, Schlesinger, kicking from what, the 35, 40?
He will probably put that. He could put that one in the woods.
He could hit the scoreboard. I'll put money on it right now. I think
35.
35-yard line. He's been hitting it from the He's been kicking what, from the 25 or 35 or from the 30, I think, right? Kicking it there. He's been hitting almost the field goal every time.
He's been kicking from the 35.
Yeah, and he's been hitting the field goal every time. If they move him up 15, I think he can probably hit the scoreboard. Yes. I mean, this kid's got a boot. I've never heard of him before, but good Lord, Steve, get this kid on a team.
Yeah.
Get hit. He is, goodness me, pro ready. You ever heard of this guy, Pat McAfee?
Oh, yeah.
I think you'd love him.
Yeah. I think he would get along real well. Nathan, he might be taking lessons from Pat in a couple of years.
And while we're talking about this, John Ron, who I don't know what his problem was with the head referee, he just had a little bit of a debacle. Not sure what they were just trying to solve. I didn't even notice, but they were out there standing at the 25 arguing a little bit.
After all this time, folks, we are still waiting on a head official's. The head official is still talking and resolving this issue, and it looks like we will finally be underway of play again. And Penn Trafford will be able to try to kick in their extra point. Nathan Schlesinger is 2 for 3. And make that 3 for 4. Sales at 1-3.
And Steve?
Penn Trafford now leads 27-0 with 8:16 remaining here in the second.
Yeah, and I was going to say it's pretty tough. Titans are in a really pretty bad situation right now, down 27. And I think it's just, if you're in this situation, it's almost like, didn't expect it maybe?
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Both teams came in at an even record. You probably didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And again, as you can hear, it is announced again, Shaler Area's homecoming, 50th anniversary. Again, a big day, Steve. You and I have both been in the homecoming in previous years in various aspects. I think it's a great tradition.
No, I think it is. It's something that really holds this community together, and it's something that really is. It brings, like I said, it's unity in the community, and just shows a lot of pride within the community for everybody to come out and enjoy themselves for the day.
Yeah, we had the class in 1951 out here, Steve.
We did. They did show themselves out in the parade. I did see that earlier this morning. It's really nice. The community gets to come out and watch the football game. Students later in the day will partake in the dance.
So let's see. They placed the ball at the 45. I think this could honestly hit the scoreboard, Steve.
So they're going to kick.
No, it's going to be a squib. There's no way he doesn't squib, Steve. There's no way.
It's an onside kick. You have
like, if you've done it before at your own 35 or your 40, you have to do it from the other 45.
They're kicking from the 50-yard line.
Or he told him to punt it as far as he could to see how far he could kick it, and that I would enjoy.
He could do this from just a stance.
I would enjoy this if he. Oh, actually.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought he was,
okay,
Steve.
He's gonna go.
Goodness me. I thought he was going to stand there and
If he really gives us all of his boot and he really pushed us down to it, I want to see it.
I'm going to. Let's see.
No.
Oh, he did
squibbed right away. They got to land on it soon. They do. Almost recovered there. Wow. They smacked the Titan player on the second row.
I mean, that came off lightning fast.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, speed was the name of that ball right there.
Absolutely.
But now the Titans are pinned at their own 15. I think it's the worst field position they've had so far this game. And again, with no momentum, they have so much work to do.
And Josh Miller with the carry there, and he brings that up for about a gain of 8 or 9. Big stack of Warriors there on the defense. Number 19 out of the Penn Trafford Warriors, I'd like to mention, Jack Jolly. You know, look at the size of this guy. He is still wearing a cowboy collar out there. One of the only guys to still wear one. But just the stature of this guy, I mean, he fits the role. When you say tight end, that's what you think of. You know, a guy of that exact character and build. High snap to Smetanka, thrown in the flat. Big hit there, but number 3, the Titans, that's going to be Joe DiSabato with that reception, is able to pick up a few, and they move the sticks there.
And again, a lot of different substitutions on the Shaler offense right now, Steve. I mean, guys in there, Tanner Plans, you know, you've got what it looks to be 3 new offensive line players. Caden Orga's not in right now. You know, they don't have a Cinetti.
And they run it. Josh Miller is able to take the carry. He's only going to get about 2 out of that.
And Josh Miller, I would say, is like, how do I put this in the words? Losing Cincinnati it's tough on Miller. I mean, you're the only sensible, and again, there's no argue toward Ray either. You're the only sensible technical running back right now.
Right.
He's got a lot on his shoulders in the run game.
Cincinnati in the shotgun, trips right. I'm sorry, it's Smetanka in the shotgun. And that ball's thrown in the dirt there. Apologize for the wording, the little mix-up there. Smetanka is still in the quarterback role. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Titans. Big 3rd down conversion here if they can get it. Smetanka looks timid. I'm gonna be honest here. This is the first time I really think they were played against a team that has been absolutely dominant in size against them. And when the pass rush comes, Smetanka just gets the ball away from him right away. I mean, that's the 3rd time today, I believe, he threw it away just to not get hit. I mean, which you can look at it from both ways. Is it smart?
Yes.
He doesn't take the hit, no loss for yards, but he's really forcing something. Empty back set. Smetanka flushed out of the pocket, thrown underneath in the inside. Joe DiSabato is able to pick it up, and they are going to mark him for the 1st down. Great job moving the chains there. Great jobs by Smetanka finding him underneath in the over the middle, doing a little pass right to him over top, and able to get the 1st down and move the sticks there for the Titans.
And Steve, I think the Titans receivers do really well, at least in one aspect. They get a good bit of yards after the catch.
Smetanka looks downfield, pass reception immediately brought down, but it's a good gain of about 4.
It's Tom Rossi on that one, Steve.
Yeah.
So again,
I think they might find some success here with little quick passes rather than trying to get runs. That's, you know, you run some quick slants or you run some comeback routes real quick. They might find some success there, even if they're picking up 3 yards a pass. They're empty backfield set, 5-man set. They throw it downfield. Oh, intended receiver was for
Schlegel there.
Dylan Schlegel. He's looking for a flag. He didn't get it. Just a tad overthrown there.
I think it was a toss-up either way. It was a bit out of his reach. He didn't make that much of an attempt for it. He just kind of stuck his arms out. And yes, there was a little bit of tug from the Warriors cornerback there, but I don't think it was flag-worthy in that instance. But again, it's nice to see that the Titans are going to take a shot at least deep. That's the first deep ball I think we've seen thrown today from the Titans.
Yeah, and for them to have the courage to run empty backfield set on a 5-man spread, run on the oop-de-oop. No, that is just a 5-man spread. And they do it again, empty back set. Penn Trafford holds off on the rush. They throw another deep ball. Josh Miller's open. Batted out of his hands and incomplete. 4th down. I had a feeling that the Titans were gonna. Let me word this correct. I had a good feeling that they were going to do the same play over again.
Yeah, but I was surprised it was Miller that got the call.
Yeah. You know, I don't think that the deep ball should have been called on 2nd down. You at least have to keep.
I think get a couple more yards. You think?
Absolutely. Look where the ball position is. They're still on their own territory.
Yeah.
So why not just, make it work? You get a couple out routes for 10 yards, you get a couple 5-yard gains, you run it a few. You pick up 1st downs, you move it 20 yards, and then you can shoot the end zone. They're going to have to do something again, another crazy downfield play. Intercepted by number 10, and Penn Trafford, they run it back.
Tripped up. That was Josh Huffman. That was just a great read. That was a very impressive read there.
It looked like a Palomalu read. He was playing linebacker. He waited for the play to develop, and he just walked right into that pass, and he runs it back.
Yeah, I think just in that situation, I believe it was DeSabato tried to come over in the flat, and Huffman just made that good read, and it was just, hey, football's in my hands.
I'm going to run it back, yeah.
Let's take it back. And again, the Titans' momentum has been pretty much, no, I wouldn't say squandered, but has been stopped for the time being.
And they hand it off. Oh, big hit there. Flag down in the backfield. Inconsistency with flags thrown. Very inconsistent with flags. Sometimes we're seeing them, sometimes we're not. But we're seeing a high quantity of them. This is the 4th holding penalty on Penn Trafford of the day.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If you look at this line, they look like the average is 6'1" height. What's the holding for?
Yeah, where are we getting? I think it's because of its motion blocking. The whole line is
kind of shifting.
They're shifting to one side, and maybe they're just holding their guy, and the guy's not able to. But I don't know if that, honestly, on some of these calls, it qualifies for holding. Because in high school, they don't say a number. So there's no way to watch the. When they say holding on the offense, it could be 11 guys. Which one? Okay, so 1st down and 10 from the 35. Titans show blitz, and they do come. Here's the blitz, pass over top, wide open in the flat is Giacomelli, and still on his feet, but finally brought down to the 25-yard line of the Titans. Great read there by Carter Green. The Titans blitz off the edge, and Giacomelli is left wide open, and he dumps it right over the rushers of the Titans, and they pick up 12 yards.
Yeah. But I think it's been, honestly, Carter Green has just been outstanding so far this game. Could you ask for anything more?
No, you cannot. And the shotgun. Takes snap. Hand it, play action. Ran out into the flat, throws downfield, reception to number 7. And Penn Trafford will possibly.
Oh, did he fumble it? Oh, man. Hellman had it at the 1. Shaler thought that he fumbled it right before. Miller can't believe it. Yeah, Hellman got all the way to the 1. He got dragged down, and I think Shaler thought he dropped it out of his hands. But, again, Hellman with that speed, and now Penn Trafford at the 1. Steve, to be honest with you, I think Giacomelli might get the call here.
Yep.
Actually, I don't see him lined up, so I might take that back.
Flag thrown immediately. Immediately. We have a dead ball penalty.
What is this on?
Oh, it's just the offsides call. I thought that was going to be. I thought it was an unsportsmanlike conduct.
I was going to say it's a very early.
I thought that was unsportsmanlike conduct. I thought it was one of the players might be saying something that he shouldn't be, and I thought that would be a dead ball penalty. Carter Green takes snap, runs it right up the middle. Number 3, Seth Dunlap, puts it up for 6.
Yeah, Dunlap's had a game for himself too.
Yeah, he is. He's really making a really good game for himself.
And Steve, I say it every game, and I almost thought I almost just saw a muddle huddle. I almost thought, Steve, thought we were gonna see it. Are they gonna go for 2 here?
Yeah, because they missed the extra point.
Right.
So they're just going to even out their score. At least attempt to, that is.
I don't think they've gone trips too much.
Carter Green in the backfield, in the pistol. Play action, looking downfield, and not completed there. They fail the 2-point conversion, and however, Penn Trafford still leads the Titans 33-0 with 3:23 to remain in the second. John, what do you think the Titans ever expected this?
Man, if you looked at I shouldn't say man like that, but Steve, if you looked at I guess, if you looked at the spreadsheet before the game,
Okay.
both teams 2-2. Both teams win their first 2 games, then lose their next 2. You think, they might be pretty even. But then you have to look at the quality of the opponents they've played.
Yeah.
Shaler's wins against Mars and Newcastle. Newcastle's in 4A, and Mars, I don't think, has won a game this season. Now, Penn Trafford, they've beat Bell Vernon and Trinity. And Trinity is, I believe, what I want to say is 3-2, and Bell Vernon isn't too good, but it was a quality win over them regardless. But I think Penn Trafford's losses have been against who I want to say was Peters Township last week, who, again, I believe is 4-1 right now. Or no, that's not possible. Sorry, 3-1. And I just think the quality of the teams that Penn Trafford played have been higher than Shaler. And I think that's where the confusion came. And I think Shaler thought, hey, 2-2, pretty even game. But I just don't think that they expected this much of more of a, per se, what's the word I'm looking for here? I wouldn't say it's a blowout, but more of a,
More of a statement.
Yeah, I would.
Kicking out of bounds is going to bring them all the way out to the 40-yard line as the flag flies there.
But yeah,
another penalty yard and more penalty yards against.
Yeah, that's about 8.
They might be winning this game by a long shot. However, their penalty yardage is just outrageous.
I will say, yes, that is a bit ridiculous.
Kicking out of bounds. Penalties in force, and that will bring out all the way out to the 40-yard line. And the Titans will start this drive. What?
From the 35.
Oh, from the 35.
Yeah.
They don't bring it out to the 40. I apologize. It's pro rules. Titans shotgun. Give it to Josh Miller. Josh Miller's got the edge. He bounced it back inside. He's still fighting for a few yards. His progress is stopped right at the sticks. Going to be marked just short.
And there's not much you can really ask from Josh Miller, can you?
One man cannot solve all your problems.
No.
Not, and that's with anything. Josh Miller's a great running back, but when you don't have the blockers out there like that he's used to out there on the field, how can you ask him to, block for himself? You know what I mean? Twins to the right. They give it to Josh Miller again. Josh Miller lets a play develop. He gets it forward. Forward progress will get him in front of the sticks and move the chains out. But you see what I'm saying? He cannot block for just himself. He needs blockers out there to make the play happen. And just with this week's injuries, it's a little unfortunate, but they don't have a lot of their big, they don't have the fullbacks in, and they're not really able to punch and create that hole for Josh.
Yeah, at one point, if you're the Titans, do you maybe take out Josh Miller? Or, because obviously you have guys that need to be safe for section play. The game's not looking too good right now. What time do you say to yourself,
Play action,
let's go?
thrown across the field. What a grab!
Catch.
What a catch! Whoa! Troy Palomalu, is that you? Number 21, Daniel Tarabrella with the interception off of a deflection. Wow! Wow!
That almost defied the laws of physics.
I mean, he flew. He flew. And he extended as far as he could extend and then just grabs that ball right before it touches the ground. Wow.
That was one of the more impressive interceptions I think
really
I've ever seen.
And they'll take over again. Man in motion. Carter Green in the backfield. Takes a snap. Looks downfield. Thrown across the middle. It is incomplete.
And one of the rare occurrences that we've seen today from Carter Green, an incompletion.
Yeah.
I want to say he's probably at what I want to say is an 85% completion rate.
I would say he's somewhere for 6 of 8, 75%. I think he's 6 of 8. Maybe.
On passing?
Yeah, 6 for 8.
I think he's done more than 8 passes.
Then it might be 10 for 12.
Yeah, I would
for that region. But I know he's had 2 drops for the day.
And look at
And
Yacamelli.
Yacamelli's bouncing all over the field.
And the thing that Yacamelli does so well is that he feels the pressure of every defender around him.
Yacamelli, the ball carrier. Let's go. 2 seconds. 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 2
What
is that? And Yakimelli after that little carry there. Carter Green takes it. Snap. Looking downfield. He's got a man deep. Throws it across the middle. Way overthrown. Intended receiver there was going to be...
That's his man so far today, Steve.
Liam Howman. But I think that was a misplay call there because Howman ran the post route. Carter Green threw for the go route, and it just sailed right over him. What an arm on Carter Green.
Yeah,
it reminds me
let's say
of just power and strength. He's so mobile in the pocket, and he can just really throw across his body with so much power. Takes snap, rolls out in the play action, looking downfield, getting chased down by a few Titans. Throws it in the flat, but deflected. Good defense there by the Titans. They do not allow that completion. Third down coming up for Penn Trafford.
And like you said, Carter Green, he's got the old school mechanics, I would say, but the new school sort of mobility and mindset. He's so well developed in reading the play and letting the play develop, and then just when it comes time to throw a 30-yard bomb, he's gonna make it happen.
Yeah, he's your man. Yeah.
So I think just in that aspect, Carter Green.
Big third down here, third and 10. Looking downfield, Carter Green under pressure makes it happen. Completion downfield to number 12. That's gonna be Tommy Kalkstein. And Tommy Kalkstein hones in that bullet pass from Carter Green and moves the sticks. It's the first 3rd and 10 that they've faced all day, and they convert. They've had multiple third down conversions on the day, but that's their first 3rd and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Carter Green in the backfield, takes snap. Looking downfield, looking end zone, flush out of the pocket under a little bit of pressure from the Titans. Got to make something happen. He cuts back across the field, still getting honed down, throws it away as he's brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, and I think he was just aiming for number 4, Jacob Otto, just not even make it. But again, look how long he let that play develop, and nothing happened to him.
He was not going to back down from that. I mean, he was really adamant about making something happen there.
Yeah, I mean, that was, in my opinion, one of the best plays he's had all day, and that was an incompletion. But he was able to evade tacklers for 5 seconds.
Yep. 37 seconds remain here before halftime. Penn Trafford in the backfield. Carter Green in the backfield, I apologize. They run it up the middle. And looking for the outside. He's trying to get to the edge of the pylon. He powers through. Touchdown, Penn Trafford. Another 6 on the board before half.
And Cade Yakimelli, what can you say?
No, the man has just brute strength and power.
I mean, that's why he's coming to Wisconsin. Let's be honest here, Steve. I mean, he's got power, he's got the agility, he's got the speed, he's got everything you would want in a running back at this level. And again, he's able to make it happen and extend plays and puts another 6 on. And Schlesinger is obviously going to boot this one through, hopefully, for the Penn Trafford Warriors and make this thing 40-point game.
See the boot here, Schlesinger. He puts it up, still up. Wow, and that boot sails through. I thought it was going to go into orbit. And as the clock winds down with only 27 seconds remaining in the half, Penn Trafford leads the Titans 40-0. And as the Titans line it up to receive this kick, I believe it's just going to be squibbed out. Titans have not crossed midfield on offense today, I do not believe.
Yeah, that's mainly...
They've gotten close. I mean, they might have.
Yeah, but
I don't think in all of their possessions.
No. I will say, I want to say that's mainly just because of the positioning that they've started at in every drive. They started, I think, behind the 20 every time, except for the One that they started at the 35, excuse me.
Right.
But then that's where the interception came from.
Yep. Schlesinger lines up to unleash his boot. And the squib kick, but still, he squibbed that all the way to the 10-yard line. And touchback called. That was a squib. Line drived it, and he sent it down. That ball was line drive. It might not even have been 6 feet off the ground. Had that much force, and it landed at the 10.
I mean, I saw him warm up earlier, and I said, hey, he's got a fast leg, but I didn't think he had the power with it. Goodness me, Steve.
I want to see if they'll let him kick a deep field goal
You remember the old punt and kick competition that Under Armour used to do?
Yeah.
I think he would dominate.
Yeah. Titans back to that power formation. They give it up the middle, brought down immediately, and I think that's what they're going to do to, I don't know if they're going to run out the half here or what, but they only have 20 or 15 seconds remaining, and I believe that will end. They might get one more play off here with 10 seconds remaining if they can get a call off.
He gains about 4.
Running up the middle, and that will end the half. Ball's out to no effect. That will end the first half of play.
Those are the ball carrier fumbles. Football is recovered by Penn Trafford.
And that will end first half coverage of the game. Penn Trafford leads the Titans 40-0. And they are due to return at the comeback at half. However, we're going to send it down to the field for the halftime show. And you'll see us back after the performance of the band for second half coverage.
Yo, we are the Shaler Area Boys Soccer Team in the SATV. Let's go!
Shaler Area, our award-winning Titan marching band with their special edition homecoming show. We proudly take the field celebrating 50 years of Titan Pride in collaboration with 50 years of Walt Disney World Madness. This past year has brought many uncertainties, but we found the courage to travel into the unknown with our special homecoming show. As we reintroduce our homecoming court candidates.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like you to once again turn your attention to the scoreboard side of the stadium and the track area, where we will proudly reintroduce our 2021 Shaler Area Homecoming Court. First for the freshmen. The freshman king is Ryan McGaffick. Ryan's attendants are Savannah Gray and Christian Mendoza. For the sophomores, the queen, Hannah Klaus. Hannah's attendants are Isabella Dutkovic and May Engel. For the juniors, the queen is Melanie Macedo Santiago, who is escorted by Colin McInich. And Melanie's attendant is Talia Sternagel. For the seniors, the queen is Rebecca Beckus. Rebecca's attendants are Julia Ehrenberger and Flannery Loudon. And for performing arts, the queen, Sasha Zarofchik. And she is escorted by Sarah Fedor. Senior rep, Jenna Masucci, who is escorted by Emma Wonderland. Junior rep is Rachel Zirka, escorted by Logan DeLuca. The sophomore rep is Zoe Reed, escorted by Victoria Scariot. And the freshman rep is Ava Molinero, escorted by Sophia Dragovic. Now, before we crown our homecoming king or queen, we have the winner of the banners. Birchfield wins for best overall appearance. Marzoff wins for most original. Reserve wins for best expression of theme. And Scott wins for best use of material. And those were the primary schools. For the elementary school, Shaler Area Elementary School wins for most Titan spirit. And Blessed Trinity Academy for most school spirit. And Shaler Area Middle School wins for best use of color. So we'd like to congratulate all of those students and schools. And now, it is time to announce the winner of this year's float competition. And we would like to introduce Dr. Royal, our high school principal, who is standing on the track at the 50-yard line, ready to crown Shaler Area's next king or queen of homecoming. In third place, we have the freshmen. The freshmen took us back to the 2000s with their minion. Congratulations, freshmen. In second place, we have Performing Arts. And Performing Arts took us back to the 1990s. And the winning float for Homecoming 2021 SA Rewind is the seniors. And the seniors took us back to the 1980s and back to the future. So congratulations, Rebecca Beckus. You are Shaler Area's 2021 Homecoming Queen. like to congratulate all of the groups who participated in this year's parade and float competition. What a year for the floats and banners. So give yourself a big round of applause. We also have a number of people to thank for all of their homecoming efforts. That would include our school district administration and school board. We'd also like to thank Mrs. Mindy Thiel, High School Activities Director. We would like to thank all the buildings and grounds employees who made today possible. And we would like to welcome back once again all of the Shaler Area alumni who are celebrating the school district's 50th anniversary this year. Thank you for everything you
We're the 2021 Shaler Varsity Cheerleaders, and you're watching SATV!
And welcome back for second half coverage of today's game as the Titans get ready to kick off and Penn Trafford begins to receive. This is the first kickoff Shaler will do of the game.
Yeah, Steve. Haven't gotten much opportunities for Jack Keenan to get a boot on the ball, but this is first of the day so far.
Jack Keenan ready to kick one deep. One mention before we start today, one more injury was noted.
To the Titans. Austin Timko, he's done for the game. He's done dressed. He's got an ice pack on his shoulder. I saw some earlier. Jack Keenan boots this one off. Good boot, by the way. But Timko took one to the shoulder.
They're going to take that from the one. Big hit there from a Titan player. He is still on his feet, still running, brought down at their own 30-yard line.
But yeah, back to Timko, Steve. He took I wouldn't say more of a shot, but he tried to give one a little bit earlier. And you know when you kind of go with your shoulder first?
Yeah, he might have jammed something in his...
Yeah, he was kind of putting his elbow. You know when you do that thing with your elbow where you kind of extend it and you try to see what's hurting? Definitely hit something in his shoulder, and right now he's got ice on it and everything. He's wrapped up and he's done for the night.
Definitely keep an eye on that for what the result will be for next week. Different quarterback in this time around. We don't have a name on that number. That's going to be number 17, and it's handed off, but then they get a good gain there as they kick it back to the outside. Gain of about 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2 coming up for Penn Trafford.
Yeah, and again, with this new quarterback in, fortunately we don't have his name, but what a half by Carter Green.
Absolutely. I think by Carter Green and by Cade Yacamelli. I mean, they played great half of football. And another ran right up. Big hit by Logan Bernesser there. I believe that's Logan Bernesser, 74. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
The friendly giant is what
Friendly giant. Nice end of the play. They pick up the first down, but that whole offensive line from Penn Trafford as well is all worth mentioning to make it happen. You know, the misdirection, the misguidance by the offensive line to make those plays develop and letting them, you know, run it out and let those runs that should be only 3 or 4 yards turn into 15, 16-yard runs. It's always worth mentioning. Looking downfield, pass, intercepted almost by the Titans. Almost flagged down. Head official with the call. Holding, offense.
It's about their 6th on the day, Steve. Goodness me.
I believe this is their 6th on the day.
And at some point, if you're John Ron of the Warriors, I guess I can't really see it from his aspect, but I would get a little bit frustrated if I had 6 holdings.
He's up 40 points, however.
Like, discipline, you still want it.
First and 20 for Penn Trafford. Snap. Ran it up the middle. Stopped right away. Short gain of about 3. They were met at the line of scrimmage by the Titans.
Gain of 3. 2nd and 17.
Second down in what looks to be 17 coming up. Snap, play action, rolls outside, looking in the flat, throws it down. He's got a man wide open, just overthrown. Intended receiver there was Daniel Terrabrella, just out of the fingertips. That would have been a beautiful pass and catch there.
Yeah, it was a great throw, by the way, too. And there's something about these Warriors QBs, and they've got some arms on them,
They do, and they look so relaxed downfield, you know. Penn Trafford, 3rd and 17. They take the snap. Play action again. He rolls it out to the flat. Pressure coming. Ran out of bounds and stopped, but not after a gain of about 4 yards. And that looks like it's gonna might have been a gain of about 5. 3rd and 14, or 4th and 14 is coming up. I think this might be the first punt of the day.
And let's see, we have not seen really a punt from the Warriors. And
I think this is their first time that they're going to have to punt today.
let's see, this is Josh Huffman. Obviously not a punt.
See what they do go through with the punt.
It's a good one,
high
too.
punt. It's returnable. It's caught right at the 20-yard line, and it's taken out to about the 28, so a good little 8-yard return there. Joe DiSabato there with the clean fielding. Titans will get the ball back. That's their first offensive stop of the day that did not result within points.
First and 10, Shaler from the 28.
It's a little bit of a reality check, I think, if you're the Shaler Titans.
You know, that hits hard.
Yeah.
That's their first defensive stop of the day in which did not result in points. That's the first defensive stop all day.
Yeah.
Smetanka takes a snap in the shotgun after he puts a man in motion. You dive up the middle, and that's brought out for a good gain of about 6. A little bit of a misdirection there. They had to fake the jet sweep, dive it up the middle.
And call me crazy, but I don't see Josh Miller anywhere.
I don't think you're going to at this point.
Oh, I do see him on the sideline, actually, but I don't know if he gets back in tonight.
Right.
Today, excuse me. Goodness me.
I believe that everybody's at peace with the result of this game, and that you need to keep people healthy for later in your season. Because remind you, as we've talked before, the real stuff starts next week, next Friday night.
Yeah, again, yes.
And they get back to the line of scrimmage where forward progress will be stopped, and that'll bring up third down and about 4 yards. But yeah, next week is where everything really needs to fall on the line. Starting next week, that's when everybody in all of the WPIAL begins their section play, which this year's a little bit different for anyone who's not familiar. Everybody's learning, everybody's adapting to what we've had to been deal with over the last, 2 years with the COVID complications. However, in 1 second, Smetanka looks downfield trying to get a pass, gets a pass in the flat, see if they can pick up the first down, and they do. And brought out to right about the 50. Big hit there by Jack Jolly. And they get the first down and bring it to midfield. But as I was saying, the WPIAL's been dealing with COVID, with over a year and a half, and they've been adjusting to that and everything in that nature. And they adjusted the schedules that no team plays an in-section game the first 5 games of the season. So if there needs to be anything moved with COVID or anything like that, COVID complications, they can fit it into the schedule later. So all teams in the WPIAL start conference play next week. Oh, a little bad handoff there, but they make it work. Get back to the line of scrimmage, brings up second down and 10, but very interesting as to see, what they're doing differently this year.
Yeah, and again, like you said, it was because of COVID, but you and I were almost in confusion about it when we talked about it earlier, you made a great point. You don't even have to show up.
You don't.
These games don't matter.
The games don't matter. You could have a 5-5 team
Make playoffs. And be first in their section.
Yeah, you could, essentially. Because those games do not matter. It's all about the way... a big, nice throw by Smetanka. He hooks up with number 3, Joe DiSabato, and they get the first. And as they call for the sticks to be moved, as he makes up to the line of gain there. But, yeah, like I was saying, John, you don't have to, all these games, they don't matter. They're not held against you for when it comes time to play in the Whippeal Championship or when it's time to go in for section playoffs. It's all about who is in your section.
Exactly. I'll touch up on that after this play there, Steve.
Smetanka hands it off right away. They make something out of nothing, and they pick up about 4 yards.
That is Miller, I think, on that play there, Steve. So
He is Miller, yeah.
I'm very surprised he's not out. But again, yeah, like you said, it's a real interesting decision to make everything section in the last 5 weeks and everything non-section. I mean, I don't think it's ever been done before.
And that's what makes it really interesting, and it changes the perspective. You know, everything matters from here on out. Now you have to keep every one of your starters healthy, hopefully for 5 weeks straight, for the best performance, essentially. Yeah. Now, that's tough. You know, in 5 weeks' time, that's a lot. A lot can happen in a month's time. Hand it up the middle again. He's going to bump it to the outside. Miller's got some running room if he can make the edge and cut the corner. He's pushed out of bounds, but he did pick up a good 15 yards, it looks like. He might have been good for about 12. And they moved the sticks. Titans finally driving across midfield and actually into the red zone. Not yet. Wait.
Driving into it. No.
Yeah, into the 30. Okay.
Yes.
I was looking at the far stick down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting, you know, what the Whippeal decided to do this year. And for Shaler's Conference, that is an uphill battle the whole rest of the way.
I mean, they're playing guys like, again, Penn Trafford, Peters Township, Moon, and then in section they play guys like Pine Richland and Kiski. I mean, it's tough regardless.
Looking downfield, Smetanka. He airs one out, looking to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Shaler. The deep ball by Smetanka. Dom Rossi with the reception. That's the first time all day we have been able to see Smetanka really air it out. And the Titans will put up 6 on the board. And the Titans try to put another, they try to go for the extra point here. Anthony Mazza comes in.
Yes.
Snap good, hold good, kick good, and the Titans put up 7.
And I was going to say before I very rudely interrupt you there, Steve, what a great throw by Smetanka. Again, he's still got the confidence in him, even down 33 like we see on the scoreboard right now.
Yep, and the Titans will trail 40-7 with 3:10 remaining in the third.
Yeah, again, great confidence by Smetanka. And again, Dom Rossi, former quarterback, he's got some really good receiving abilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, out of the quarterback for sure. But, you know, it's momentum that I think the Titans needed. And again, regardless if you're playing second stringers or not, it's still football.
Yep.
You still got to put points on the board. Now, again, it's a bit different. But you got to make it happen.
Yep, couldn't agree with you more there, John. Titans get ready to boot this one away.
I pay $5 if it's an onside kick. I think I might be that crazy, or I just might do it.
I think Jim Ryan doesn't have it in him to do something like that. I really don't. I don't think they have any means to, you know. They would ask themselves why at this point. Why do it?
Yeah, good call. Couldn't onside it.
And they do a squib. Picked up right at the 15-yard line, brought out, and they miss a tackle there. Tried to cut back, miss a tackle there. He's got some running room. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. 2 men to beat. The 30, the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Penn Trafford.
Well, no. Oh, they do call it.
They had it.
What a return.
They had it.
I thought he got knocked out at the 1.
Nope, he hit the pylon.
Wow, what a return by number 12, Tommy Kalkstein. Goodness me, Steve. Evaded about 3 tackles.
Yeah, he shed his block about 3 times, and then that's the end result there. And that results in points against Shaler. So Shaler answers, puts points on the board as quick as quickly as Penn Trafford will come back and take that reception the whole way home. And extra points up, and it sails over the hillside down to the USPS building down over the hill. 47-7, 2:51 remaining in the third.
And again, Steve, nothing you can do about that. I mean, you did call it.
I did call it. I said there will be a run back in this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Jones was right in that aspect. I don't know how you do it sometimes, Steve.
Yep, they don't ask how, they just ask how many, that's all.
And I guess if you're, how do I put this into words? If you're a guy like Josh Miller or a guy like Rossi or Schmitenka and you're still out and playing right now, at some point you have to, what's the level of frustration you're feeling? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is. It's disappointing because they've had they came off of, you look at the last 3 weeks of play at Hampton, very upsetting loss, such a great played game. That's where the momentum breaker really was. They had to travel out to West A for a game, and it didn't go in their favor, losing 24-0. And then now at home, hosting Penn Trafford at homecoming, being down 47-7 in the third. That's tough. It really is. That ball was sailed high, and they let it fly out of bounds. And the touchback will be fielded at the 20. So, at the 25, apologize. It is very frustrating, because now it's like, well, where are we going to find more momentum? They started the season 2-0, and then lost to Hampton.
Yep.
West Allegheny.
Yep.
Now they're losing severely to Penn Trafford.
Mm-hmm.
And now section play starts next week. And they've lost 3 consecutive.
Yes.
So I
can see the hole that they're in.
Now you see on a brighter scale of, it's tough. Outside run there, a little bit of a sweep, brought down right about, just a little bit past the line of scrimmage, gain of about a yard. So that's where it's very hard, and this is where it becomes mentally boggling and frustrating for the team, because now they have to find all this hope and motivation and momentum where there is none.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Because if you go up against a team next week like not West Allegheny, I apologize, they're not in section. Let's say you go up against
Pine Richland.
So you go Pine Richland. Pine Richland's walking in with their last 3 games all wins. And the Titans have lost the last 3 consecutive. It's very hard to play a team like that and have the same step up on their level. It's very tough to come back and beat them.
Yeah, I think, you see it in a lot of sports. It's how you deal with it as a team and how you come together as a team. I think, they're going to have to, put on their seatbelts and strap on, because you still got 5 weeks left in the season.
Right. So Tanker rolls out, makes the completion, and Joe DiSabato with the reception, but it is short of the first down. That brings up 4th down for the Titans. Titans got to go for it here. It's going to turn into points either way. They're at peace with that.
Yeah,
you have to notice at this point, you're already down. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Take a chance. Columbus did.
That was a great call. That was a great call, and I agree with it heavily. I think in any situation, what is it, a 4th and 3, you line up quad receiver set?
At least you try to fake them off sides.
No, but
they went for it. Big pass rush coming. No, nothing here. They make it work. Schlegel gets it. He's just got to get up field a little bit. He's got the sticks moved. And the first down comes out.
And Steve, I guess as this quarter comes to a close, I think one thing that has to change is, I'd say, the mentality. I think the mentality in the first 2 games have been completely different in the last, or I should say in the first 3 have been completely different from the last 2.
Yeah.
I think, it went from first 3 being, goodness me, we're on a hot streak, we're the Titans. And now it's like, whoa, now you're questioning yourself to a point. That's what you never honestly want to do. And I think if, obviously Penn Trafford, statement game. People have been downing them. They dropped down to 5A, have 2 losses. They're stouts. This is a statement game for them. For the Titans, I think if Hampton was a reality check, this is a bigger reality check.
Yep.
This is one of them. How do I put this in words? When you kind of get to like a point where you think you've hit rock bottom, I would say, and you think it can only go up. And then just
I guess you
Miles,
basically you
keep
basically
going down.
reach your lowest low.
Yeah, and you didn't think you could hit that. So now as a team, how do you come back from that? And I think that's what the Titans are going to have to change.
Yep. 1st and 10 now. Smetanka in the shotgun quad receiver set. He rolls out looking with a little option play here. He's going to take it for himself. Whoa. Dives back behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to lose some yards there. And he jumps right back to the line of scrimmage. If he would have just stayed on his line, it would have turned into a...
Probably about 2 or 3.
Yeah, about a 2 or 3 yard game, but he just gets out to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, John, I agree with you. It's just tough for where they are going into week 5 next week.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know, there's not much you can do.
Into week 6 next week. Apologize.
There's not much you can do.
Looking downfield, he jumps on the run and throws. Completed.
Wow, I think he caught
No,
that.
they called it.
Wow, I thought Jody Spatto hauled that in with just his left hand falling down.
Yeah, and it was... The camera is just... couldn't get a good look at that one. Don't know what's going on there. And after that long pass attempt, that incomplete pass, it'll bring up 3rd and 10. Quad receiver set. Smetanka looks downfield, throws it in the flat. Brought down by a herd of defenders, and they get about 1 yard on the play.
And I think the issue with this is you have a 4th and what I presume is about 8. There's only a couple options you got, and I assume the main one you go for is a deep shot downfield.
Yeah.
Why not try that on 2nd or 3rd down instead of your last resort option on 4th?
Well, I think play call on the offensive side for Shaler has struggled in the last couple of years. I will say that. However, if you try on 2nd down, let's say you go for a 25, 30-yard pass, okay? It's incomplete. On 2nd down. Now you bring up 3rd down. Okay? It depends really where you are in the game. I would rather try on 3rd down, knowing that I have to punt. I'd rather try for a deep ball on 3rd down. Second.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I wouldn't want it to come down. I mean, it all depends on how you look at it.
But I think last resort on 4th isn't a good idea. And look at this here, Steve.
See? Send one airmail down. Intercepted. It was right at the intended target was Dom Rossi, just underthrown.
And again, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that was expected in
But where are they getting
aspect.
the ball at? Where are they taking possession at? The 20 what?
5.
Is that where they ruled it out?
Yeah.
No, it looks like they have it marked at the 23-yard line. The Titans were just at the 40.
Do you think...
Wait, we have a personal foul called unnecessary...
Wait
a minute.
Hands in the face. How's a hands in the face call?
Wait a minute. I got a personal foul call. I think the Titans are going to have the ball.
I'm like 99% certain that was just a hands to the face call by the head referee. Yeah, hands to the face on the defense.
Titans will pick up the 1st down, it looks like.
Huh. So like we said, mistakes by the Warriors and the penalties are just making this game harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an interception turnover. You had the ball. You could probably close the game out with the amount of time left in the game. Only, 6 minutes?
Yeah, only 9
Yes, 9 minutes.
Remaining. Titans will take this from their own, or from the Penn Trafford Warriors 45 after that 15-yard penalty. It's Matanka in the backfield, takes a snap, looks downfield, he's going long, airs it out. Intended receivers, Joe DiSabato. Joe DiSabato got it. Big throw, big catch in there at the 5-yard line. Oh, and that is a correction, folks. It's number 13 there out of the Titans, and that is going to
That's
be
Dylan Schlegel there, buddy.
Schlegel there. I only see number 3. That's the only part I could see that was exposed. I thought that was the intended receiver.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I saw it a little bit earlier. DiSabato had to come off for some apparent reason. I haven't figured out what. He's getting checked out by the medical staff right now. I'm not too sure what he came off for. He came off a couple plays ago.
High snap, ran up the middle, and the Titans will punch it in for 6.
And a great call and a great run.
Yeah, right up the middle, and their offensive line was able to hold up and make the blocks, and they're able to convert it to points. And we do have an apparent injury on the field. The trainers come out, but I think everything's okay at this point. The trainers are slowing down, taking a look. I think everything's all good. He's under his own power, walking off the field.
But again, another injury that the Titans don't want to see.
Right, another, another, at least something to look at, and you never know what that can transcend into, And every injury is, important until it's ruled otherwise. Let's see if the Titans can kick in the extra point attempt here. And it is good for the extra point. Titans trail Penn Trafford 47-14, 8:19 to play in the 4th.
And Steve, it's good that the Titans, I think what a lot of teams tend to do is they just tend to give up. Well, I wouldn't say give up. But they don't, I would say, play to a point. That makes sense. Which is good that the Titans are still playing to a point. They put points on the board. I think it does instill some confidence. But I think it also, again, is a very big reality and a humility check.
Yeah, absolutely. Titans get ready to kick this one off. Last kickoff resulted in a almost 90-yard return.
It was around that far.
It was about a 90-yard return. See if they can keep this one, Now what about an onside kick?
I'll pay you $5.
Titans underway, ready to kick it deep. And they get it up. It's kicked deep to the end zone, and they let that go for a touchback.
Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. Penn Trafford has a 1st and 10 on their own 20.
And they'll take the touchback and now take it out from the 20-yard line. Wait a minute. Touchbacks are now fielded at the 20?
They've always been at the 20.
I thought they moved that to just 25 in all leagues.
Not sure. To be honest, Steve, there is such a discrepancy between all.
Timeout taken by the Titans. They have 12 men on the field. Good call.
Smart read.
Wow, it's a really good call and catch there, and not to give up any penalty yards. Jim Ryan makes that call.
Yeah, I will say the thing that I believe that the Titans have just been so much better at, in a game of, well, I guess weakness is throughout the game, you know, the discipline and the penalty calls have been pretty outstanding compared to the Penn Trafford's. Penn Trafford's probably had 10 penalties, 10 plus, and Shaler's had 3. So you know, that aspect does show the humility of the team to not commit fouls.
Correct. And they look to blitz right away. Titans blitz. They run it off the outside edge, and they're going to pick up a few yards, almost too close to the first down. Right at the line of gain, and they push the sticks. First down there with 7:45 remaining. And the snap from Penn Trafford. They hand it off to the inside. Brought down after 2 big hits by the Titans, and that's not after a gain of about 6 or so.
The ball carrier. Tackled by Sopa. Gain of 8.
One Titan player slow to get up. And one Titan player will go down under injury. And the trainer's going to have to come out and take a look. And we are going to take a quick break for this one as the trainers come out to take a look at the injured player.
We're the 2021 dance team, and you're watching SATV.
Warriors get ready to take the snap here. Man in motion. 3 receivers set. They run it up the middle. Flag down in the defensive side of the field. And that's ran out for about 20 yards, but it is a flag spotted way down right around the line of scrimmage area. We have a holding on the offense. I believe this is the 7th holding call on the offense so far this game.
Is that a record?
And we have another Titans player down on the field. Not sure to what effect this is. And we'll go to another injury break.
We're the Shaler Area Titans team, and you're watching SATV.
Titans show blitz. Snap. They roll back to pass. They throw it in the flat. It's received. Good gain here. He bounced around, sheds a few tackles. He's got a little bit of running room, got a few blocks on the outside 40, the 30, brought down right about the 25-yard line. That is number 2, Michael Frawley, with the reception there, and that's good for about 45 yards.
First 10 players from the Shaler 7.
Missed tackles are killing the Shaler defense today.
It's a big name to the game right now. It's just you got to be able to wrap up and finish those tackles.
They run it to the outside, looking to get the edge. Sheds a tackle, stiff arm, brought down, but not after a good gain.
Tackled by 6. First and 10, Penn Trafford from the Shaler 11.
Snap. Hand it off again up the middle. Got a running lane. And touchdown, Penn Trafford.
Scout the ball carriers for the Penn Trafford touchdown. That's a 1-yard touchdown by Scout.
And that will increase the score to 53-14 against the Titans. Have not seen a score at Titan Stadium like this.
Probably since Central Catholic 2015.
Yeah, we look at about 5 to 6 years ago was the last time something of this nature. That a team's reached, the last time that team reached over 50 would be Shaler against Fox Chapel about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's good, moving the deficit. This just became a 40-point game, 54-14, 4:52 to play in the fourth and final quarter. The Titan takeaways from this game are definitely, you know, finishing tackles. You know, you have when you have to wrap up completely. You cannot let them shed your tackle with a stiff arm that badly, and it's going to turn in from a 5-yard screen
to a 15-yard
to a 15, 20, 30-yard completion. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of things that the Titans really need to do here.
Yeah, there's a lot to grow from, learn upon, improve, I think. It's kind of the quote I would say that the Titans need to follow.
Titans back to receive. Ryan Doherty back deep alongside Jimmy Sanders. Penn Trafford gets ready to boot this one deep. They kick it a little short. It's into the second row of the Titans. Little fumble there from the Titans. Ball's out. I think it's recovered by the Titans. It was just fumbled a little bit on the reception when he picked it up, and then that first Warrior defender to get in there and make the tackle was able to pop the ball loose, but it was recovered by the Titans at their own 27-yard line. That is where they will take possession into the final minutes of this game.
Yeah, Steve, I guess if you could, into words, say what the Titans need to do going into the next week, what would that be?
You know, this is going to be a tough week for them. When they come to practice on Monday, they are going to run some more until they are conditioned enough. See a little bit of a different quarterback coming in for the Titans. Not sure of a number on that yet, folks. But I think this week, for the Titans, they are going to have a hell week of conditioning. On Monday, come Monday, they will be running like no other. Coach Jim Ryan will not sleep well at night knowing this game of homecoming. A homecoming loss is never good.
Yeah.
You know, you come out here on a Saturday, it's not just you have the normal parents of the players who come out, the student section. This is the community. This is your show to the community as to, hey, this is what we can do. And to lose by 40, that's not showing much. So that's so much disappointment is held in the balance of this game. And I think really next week what they need to bring to the table is just say, hey, you know, we had a little bit of a snafu. The team was a little bit better than we were, but don't worry, we can still compete.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You know, when they come back next week to play away at who do we have next week?
I want to say, man, I forget it every time, but I'm like 99% certain it's actually Pine Richland at home.
That's a tough team. You know, Shaler has not beaten Pine Richland probably the early 2000s. Maybe 2000 exactly was the last year that Shaler has beat
Pine Richland. Pine Richland for the last 10 to 12 years has been a perennial 6A state championship team, national playing level against teams as IMG Academy, Mater Dei, St. John Bosco.
They've never played against De La Salle, have they? They never came that good.
Shaler or
Pine Richland?
Well, Pine Richland were the state champions for like 3 years in a row.
But you know who De La Salle is, correct?
Of course I know who De La Salle is, but I'm not sure. But I would assume if they were state championships and won the state champion at any point, if they did play them, they would have won.
Right.
But yes, I know the infamous De La Salle. Yes, they are a terrifying monster.
That's a team. That's not the team they played Friday Night Lights as, correct?
That was IMG, I think.
Friday Night Lights, I think that was that was the Permidian Panthers.
Oh, you're talking about the movie Friday Night? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Which is a real football team.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyhow,
it's great movie.
Titans take it, run up the middle, stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. 1 minute 50 to play. The clock winds down here. Third down coming up for the Titans. Next week they really just need to bring their A game.
Yeah, I think there's such a discrepancy of what looks to be how much they care, and I think if you're a football player, do do you really want how much you care to be questioned all the time?
Absolutely.
At some point, you need to say to yourself, all right, this has to stop.
Yep.
Like, we have to, like, be like, all right, listen.
Looking downfield, long balls aired out. He's got a man down there just through the hands of the intended receiver. Great pass there. Not sure who's at quarterback. We don't have a number on him.
No Max Preps. Letting us down. But yeah, I think, you know, for Shaler, you got to say to yourself, all right, enough's enough. So, like, we can't, not going to take it. We're going to, you know, I mean, remember, when you're playing with the Titans logo and the Titans on your helmet, you got to say to yourself at some point, all right, you know, can't let Township Shaler down.
Right. You're representing this community,
Yes.
this team, this school. Football is arguably the most, you know, watched sport as it comes to high school sports, you know, and on a national level when you get into professional, you know. You don't get a big student section like this at baseball games. You just don't. Not saying that they care less about them. It's just this time of the year, you know, you come back to school, you go to the football games.
Yeah.
Everybody comes out to the football games. So you got to put on a show. You know, you got to work harder. You got to do what you have to do to make it work.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know how it feels to almost, you know, come off a good season and then a couple seasons in a row be in a weird place where you're not losing by a lot, but you're not winning by a lot.
Right. And as clock winds down here, Titans have to get one playoff before time expires. Good.
We would like to thank everyone for attending today's game. Our final score, Penn Trafford 54, Shaler Area 14. We'd also like to congratulate everybody who took part in our homecoming festivities this afternoon. And we'd like to wish the Shaler Area School District a happy 50th birthday.
And welcome back down to the field for the post-game show. Steve Jones alongside John Irwine. And John, you know, an unfortunate showing here for homecoming as the Titans lose by a 40-point deficit on home turf. Now that really sinks and hits hard. Not a lot of positives out of the Titans this week, just a lot of, you know, unfortunate events really and bad takeaways from this week. But with every negative, you can almost turn it into a positive if you look at it and you can correct it next week, you know. They did not finish their tackles. The offense struggled a lot today, not even all of the first half, not being able to get out of their own territory and push on the ball past midfield. So they really struggled this week. However, I think you take all this as constructive criticism and you use it next week to when it really matters, because remember, folks, next week is when section play begins. Go ahead, John. What do you have to say?
Yeah, Steve, you made a lot of good points. Again, these first 5 weeks haven't meant really much towards playoff, but I think it meant a lot towards your confidence. It's how you grow as a team.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just hard to say, you know, obviously we're not football players. We're not in their position to say anything. But, you know, as a team, you got to band together and say, all right, we won the first 2, we lost the next 3. How do we come back from this going into week 6 at Fox Chapel?
Yep.
Section play. I mean, again, Fox Chapel, we've had our battles with them. I mean, again, 2 years ago, played Fox Chapel, you know, got into playoffs, beating Fox Chapel. We were there. How do you as a team say, all right, we have to lock it in now? You have to play better. You have to play smarter. I mean, it's just the little things. Like you said, the tackles, your reads, finishing your blocks, giving blocks, playing smart. I mean, all this combined into a greater, bigger whole. Again, I'm not in that position. I'm not the coach. But, again, Steve, you know, it matters. You want to make playoffs, obviously. I mean, guys like Josh Miller, Dylan Schlegel, Dom Rossi, it's your last year. You have to make a statement for yourself.
Right, absolutely. The biggest thing that you touched on that I want to, you know, kind of work off of was confidence. You're going to walk into another player's house. You're coming off 3 consecutive losses. However, just hypothetically, they could be coming off 3 wins. And, you know, football is just a momentum-based sport. It is. If you're walking in with no momentum, it's very hard. It's not impossible to be done. It's very hard to get that ball rolling, and the Titans are really in that kind of predicament right now, losing their last 3 games. So we hope that we can see a turnaround here, and I bet we will when we go away at Fox Chapel. I really think we're going to see some great things over there, but you know, who knows? Only time will tell. This is a very interesting year, as we've said before, and the next 5 games really matter. This is the first time it's ever been played like this in the Whippeal, where the first 5 games of the season are all non-conference, non-section. Now we get into all conference, all section games. Actually, all section games. So very interesting to how the Whippeal is running this year. But John, do you have anything else for us down here on the field?
I mean, Steve, again, you know, it's a tough loss, you know, to lose by, you know, 40 points, like you said. Again, there's nothing you can do about it. That's why you play another week of football. You have 10 weeks for a reason. Again, remember, it's Shaler Area's 50th anniversary of homecoming.
Yeah.
You still had the parade earlier today, and there's going to be the dance later tonight, and you're going to enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
So, again, it's a tough loss. You got to wear it. You got to wear it on your sleeve, and you got to go into next week, you know, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Come in Monday and say, all right, it's got to change, and it's got to be better.
Absolutely.
And going into Fox Chapel, that's how they just got to play it, and they got to act like they want it.
Yep.
That's all I got to say. So
You know, you hit everything, you know, spot on there, John. I couldn't agree with you more. That's all we have for you for our post-game show. Join us next week at Fox Chapel.